Hello and welcome to this video. I know, I'm a little red. I technically should be more green. But welcome to the very first episode of Freaky Fridays in October. I am so glad to be doing this character and everything. It is one of my favorites. And speaking of which, to show you how much of a favorite it is of mine, my mom sent me these pictures of me when I was young, wearing a witch's hat and a cape with a little witch's piñata. The Wicked Witch is one of my favorite characters, and I'm so glad to bring her to my adulthood, pretty much. This hat is super tall. I can barely get it all in the shot, but you get what I mean. But other than that and everything, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's Freaky Friday episode and everything. Let's go ahead and get this tutorial started. Hey! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It is the very first episode of Freaky Friday, so happy Halloween and happy October to you all. Anyways, okay, so I know I look really crazy right now, and I have these like scleras in, if that's how they're even pronounced. Anywho, okay, so we're gonna be starting off with our very first set of prosthetics and everything. That's going to be these. I know you can't see them very well in the camera because it's so bright, but I'm going to insert an image of them. I will tell you that these right here are latex foam prosthetics. These are angular cheek prosthetics. So if you think of kind of like what is her name? Maleficent. If you kind of think of like Maleficent, that's kind of like what they are. And that's what I'm going to use them for today, for like my favorite character ever. Like, she has been my all-time favorite character ever since I've seen The Wizard of Oz. I love it so much. So anywho, so what I have here is a large thing of latex. I have a large thing of latex, which, if you are allergic to latex, there is several things out there. There is Prozate, there is spirit gum out there for those that are allergic to latex. So first thing I will say about these prosthetics, as kind of like a side review, is that they are super thin, but they have this beautiful like arch in them, and it's going to add so much more character to this look. And I'm doing simpler stuff because I want everybody to kind of be able to recreate stuff for Halloween. I don't want everybody to, you know, to feel like they have to go above and beyond, and that's not what I really want to do. I want to kind of do something simple, but something that every person can pretty much achieve. Now, the one thing that I will be using a lot today is airbrush. I'm going to be airbrushing quite a bit of the makeup, except for the eye makeup, and of course, like the highlighting and contouring will be airbrushed, but the eyes and eyebrows will not be airbrushed, obviously. Oh my gosh, if I could airbrush my eyebrows. I have my hair up and everything, and the great thing about it is that the product that I'm using is this right here for airbrushing. This right here is a fabulous airbrush body paint, body art paint, and it is water soluble. So like the smallest amount of water and it just runs all over the place, which I think is just so classic for the Wicked Witch, you know. But yeah, so I'm gonna be airbrushing literally my entire chest, my face. I'm not going to be airbrushing my ears because of the hat that I have, part of the costuming. Will be actually covering my ears and a part of my neck, most of my neck. So the chest area will have to be airbrushed. So yeah. Okay, so as far as going into if you're going to be using latex, so I have some really old makeup brushes of mine that I used to use a very long time ago. And I'm going to be using these to apply the latex. And I will tell you right now, if you use brushes to apply latex, please know that the minute the latex is in the bristles, your brushes are done for. Like, they're done. Like, there's no going back. because latex is incredibly difficult to get out of brushes. Incredibly difficult. Just as a saying, okay? So what I've already done is I took like a eyeliner and I marked here, here, up here, here, over here, all of these areas surrounding where the cheekbone prosthetics will be. Next up, I'm gonna take my latex. I'm gonna put some on like a small like dish and everything, which by the way, if you pour out enough and it hardens, the latex itself will basically dry, and once it dries, it kind of turns into like a rubber. It's latex. And then you can like scratch up the corner of it and then it peels right off. So you don't have to worry about it actually ruining like any of your plates or anything. Now, if it's like plastic, I'm not so sure, but I do know with glass or ceramics or anything, it'll come right off of it. So let's go ahead and start applying some of these prosthetics. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking a old flathead brush of mine, and I have some latex laid out right here. And I'm going to grab a little bit of that, and I'm gonna start from the inside and work my way around that area. And you don't have to put like a lot, you really don't. Okay, and then once you have it on there, just know that it's immediately gonna start drying. So I would say start from the bottom of the prosthetic and then work your way up, pressing down. And if you don't get it all adhered at the same time, that's okay. Okay, so as you can tell, there's like a little bit over here in the back that's already been missed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab another brush and I'm gonna peel that forward. And then I'm gonna take my flathead brush and just paint that on there. And then I'm gonna take the back end of the brush and fold it down. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take the back end of the brush and I'm just gonna start rolling it to make sure that it's adhered. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my flathead brush again. I'm gonna take just a little bit and I'm gonna go around the edges. Okay, now I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit. You'll know whenever it's dry because it'll appear absolutely clear and you won't be able to see any of the painted on latex. Okay, so now that I have both of the prosthetics on, what I'm gonna be doing next is I'm gonna be taking some translucent powder. After latex, once it sets, it has this like sticky consistency to it, and I kinda wanna like dull that down just a little bit. So I'm gonna take like a brush like this and a little bit of Kat Von D setting powder. I'm gonna use that to kind of set this a little bit. Okay, so now it's time to start painting this entire head green. So I have my airbrush here, and so my base color is going to be literally just green. And then after that, I have two other shades, this one and this one right here. So what I did is this right here is the highlight shade. So I added a few drops of white to the normal green color. So this right here will be the highlight shade. And this right here, I added a few drops of purple and a little bit of black to make it a lot darker than this green. So Yeah, that'll be our contour shade. And then as well as we're gonna move on over into some eyeshadows. So let's get started. I know, I'm very aware that I look like an avocado. Just give me a moment, okay? I'm just feeling very green today. Okay, so next up we're gonna move on over into highlight and everything. So I'm gonna be using a lighter shade of green for the T-zone. So the T-zone meaning the cheeks, the forehead, nose, and chin and lip area. I'm not so sure about the nose area considering the fact that the nose, doing airbrush, it's very difficult to do, but I can do that with some eyeshadow that I do have. So I already have some of my lighter shade that I already pre-mixed, and I already have that in this one. So, needlessly to say, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start airbrushing the T-zone and then we'll get started. Okay, as you can tell, there is some major highlighting going on. So I highlighted the bones right here, yeah, and then highlighted the top areas of the cheekbones, kind of working it in kind of like a concealer slash highlight, the chin, the upper lip, and I did do slightly just a little bit on the nose, but I need to define it just a little bit with shadow. And then the forehead. So next up, we're gonna be moving on over into eyebrows. I literally just went off on like a whole eyebrow thing and completely forgot to hit record, so my apologies. Okay, so I already blocked out this brow and already faded it, and now I'm doing the other one. So I'm just starting from the top, and this is what I do with my natural eyebrows as well. Okay, so after that, we're gonna move on over into some eyeshadow. Okay, so I was taking a quick second break. I'm gonna make this fast, and then we're gonna move on to over eyeshadow. I was taking a quick second break, and I looked down at Obi, my dog, He literally popped up, looked at me as if like, who are you and where is my mother? Like literally the most hilarious thing I've ever seen this dog do. Okay, I know I said that we were gonna move on over to some eyeshadow, but I forgot that we needed to contour the face. So like I said before, I have some mixed up darker pigment and everything for the airbrushing, mixed with the regular green, some purple, and a dot of black. And I already have it in my machine. So we're gonna go ahead and start airbrushing. So of course, contouring forehead, cheeks, and underneath. Okay, so now that we have the face contoured, I'm gonna sit and let that dry for a minute, and then we will for sure be moving on over into some eyeshadow. Okay, now we're for sure moving on over into some eyeshadow. So I have, ooh, this is dirty. I have the palette right here by Morphe. This right here is the 35B, aka I call it the rainbow palette all the time. So we're gonna be using this right here, green. It has like a shimmer in it. And so we're gonna be using that on the brow bone to start. Okay, so after that, I'm gonna grab a long-haired brush and we're gonna go on over into some darker colored greens. So I'm gonna start out with this one right up here at the very, very top. Very top. I'll load up my brush with a lot of product. Okay, so after that, let's do a little bit underneath the eye. Okay, so after adding that shade and adding some like definition to the eye and stuff, I'm gonna actually take that shade, I'm gonna drag it down on the side of the nose to contour just a little bit. Okay, so after that, let's move on over into some more shadows. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna be going directly into this black, right there, with a short-haired eye brush, which means it's going to pack a lot of color. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my fluffier brush, I'm gonna blend that out just a little bit. Really blow it out. Okay, and then we're gonna move on over into some glitter real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna be moving on over into this palette, and of course I'm gonna be using this right here, Vibrant Red. Okay, now just to add a little bit of a different definition to that, I'm gonna be using some of the darker black glitter, and I'm gonna be doing that on the outside edge for a little bit of a fade. Okay, so after that, it's time for some mascara and lashes. So I have no clue what I wanna do for lips. So I think I'm gonna do a mixture of black and red, and I think I'm gonna like fade them together and everything. So I'm gonna do black on the outside and red on the inside. Okay, so that right there is beautiful. I love this combination. Now I don't look like an avocado very much anymore. Okay, so it is time for the rest of our costume. I hope you all enjoyed watching today's video because I had so much fun making this for you guys today. It's not every single day that I get to do something like this, and I will honestly say that this right here literally would not be possible without the Patreons. There is so many more awesome looks that I am going to be doing this month, and Halloween is my favorite time of the month, and this character in general is so dear to my heart, because I think when I was growing up, this character exuded so much of my growing up hatred for the world and the things that happen in it, and you know, and Glinda and you know, and the Wicked Witch and the Good Witch. Like, it's just such, it's a wonderful story, and I love it, and I love this character, and I'm so glad that I finally got to be able to do it this way, because I've never dressed up as the Wicked Witch for Halloween, and I would rather do it in video for you now than to, you know, never do it and never videotape it and bring it to you all. This, I am truly humbled by being able to do this, because before I just thought I was capable of just doing, you know, I mean, I know I'm capable of doing way crazier things whenever it comes to makeup, but like, usually I just always stick to the natural stuff, and I really love doing stuff like this. If you haven't, please make sure to like, subscribe, become a part of the Angel Army. That sounds weird saying it like this right now, but you get what I mean. Anyways, so further ado, please make sure to check out Patreon. There is so many wonderful things going on Patreon right now, and don't miss out on it. Also, too, please keep in mind that this coming up month, on the 31st of Halloween, will be the 1-year anniversary of Lake Keystone the Horror Flick Returns, and it will be streaming live. The PG version of it will be streaming live, and it will then be released and everything on YouTube for you all to watch and everything. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for the rest of Freaky Fridays coming up this month. There's going to be some awesome things in it. Anyways, I love you all so much from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!